Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I saw from the attendees list that we've got some folks joining us from Europe, as well as Canada, west coast of the US. So wanted to say thank you to everybody who's joining. We're going to give everyone just a few minutes to get joined in, and we will kick off today's workshop at around 11:10. So thanks for joining. In the meantime, I am sending emails with information about your labs. And
just a heads up, Philip, it looks like they don't have chat or voice.
okay, I'll make sure that we get that turned on as well.
There we go.
All right, we'll keep watching as folks come into the room and make sure. If anybody wants to say hi, you can come off of mute, say hi. Again, we'll get started here at 11:10.
Yeah, please do say hi. We're friendly people.
Good
morning.
Morning, Connor. Morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Where are you guys based out of? I'm out here in Washington, D.C., so I'm in the East Coast. Where are you guys based out of?
I'm East Coast as well. We're in Western North Carolina, pretty close to your home office there.
Yeah. Durham. Yep.
Yep, I'm East Coast too, Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay. I know a lot of Navy folks are in Norfolk.
Yep.
I'm in Massachusetts.
Cool. Yeah, I need to visit Boston here and there. That's one city I haven't visited yet that I want to.
Yeah, fun, quirky city.
Yep. That's what I heard. Yeah, Phil, can you unmute the others as well? Is there no option to automatically unmute them when they join?
There may be. I know where this button's at, though.
We'll do the next one, the next session. Morning, everyone. Yeah, we'll start here shortly in 5 minutes, just to have everyone hop in.
So everyone should be getting an email from me in your inbox right now, and that's going to have your lab instructions. Paul's going to give you a little more instruction here in just a few minutes, but wanted to go ahead and get that out to you. If by chance you do not get the lab email, please raise your hand or speak up, let us know, so I can get that out to you. Feverishly multitasking over here, trying to get everybody access and get the email to you.
I'm not seeing anything so far.
No worries. If anything, I can put the link in the chat later.
Yeah, we'll definitely put the link in the chat as well.
Yeah, it only takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes to spin up an instance for you guys to log into the labs. But we'll kick it off here shortly.
think I see what happened.
Whoa, is there a special guest on the call today? Harvey Green, CEO.
Jeez.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you're talking about me, Paul. I'm
Oh,
hurt.
I didn't see you there, Alex. Wow, even more special guest. What a star-studded morning. Yeah, we'll kick off here in 2 minutes and we'll do introductions. So you can hear from the legendary Harvey Green and Alex.
Are you
Clare.
serious?
Super star.
Harvey, I think we're gonna be big disappointments.
Right.
So Connor, you should be getting your email here in just a few seconds. They are going out right now.
Awesome, just got it. Thank you.
Very welcome. It was sitting here waiting on me.
Yes, you must click the send button if you would like it to send.
That's just like asking me to use a fax machine. I don't know how to do that. It's the simple
If
things.
you get an email back from Harvey, you get a signature from him. That worth a lot of money, right?
It is.
For those that you guys don't know, Harvey Green is a podcast superstar.
Oh my gosh. What is happening
Like
here?
and subscribe and join the podcast and listen to Harvey Green.
I did not come here to be abused.
It's right up to the true crime docuseries.
I've got one of those listeners in my house right now.
I gotta really make the next one special.
Right? No pressure, Harvey. No pressure.
Coming to you live, Harvey Green.
Right. Actually, I'm planning to come to some people live at
Ooh.
.next.
Nice.
We'll see how that works.
Nice. You heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Exclusive.
That's right.
All right, just a couple more minutes. We're waiting on anybody else who may come in, and then we're going to kick off.
Yep. I guess we'll use this opportunity to again tell everybody that if you want to go to .next and you have not yet bought your ticket, we will gladly help you purchase tickets at about 90% off. Not a joke. So if you want to go to .next and you're interested in trying to go, please let us know. We will get you discounted tickets to get you there. It's very important that you guys are able to get training, not just from us, but be able to get training at the breakouts that are at .next and be able to rub elbows with Paul when he shows up.
Touché.
Phil, that elbow was too high. Absolutely.
All right, we're counting down the seconds now. So I can't wait. I'm impatient. They know this about me. So we're going to go ahead and kick off. On behalf of XenTegra and Nutanix, I want to say welcome and thank you for taking the time to join us today for a Nutanix Files workshop. My name is Phil Sellers. I'm a solutions architect here at XenTegra, and I have the opportunity to work with all of our great customers as a solutions advisor and technical resource on the pre-sale side of things. And as far as background, I've been in the industry far too long, about 20 some odd years. I want to stop counting because it just hurts at this point. Yeah, infrastructure focused, have done a lot of data center-y things, and here to help our customers and to help you. Education is a big part of what we do, so happy to have you here today. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Harvey Green, who's already been pumped up and heavily billed, our CEO of XenTegra Gov.
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully this won't be a huge disappointment. No, I'm Harvey Green, as Phil mentions, XenTegra Gov CEO. I also am I come from an engineering background. I used to be solutions architect. I say used to be was like 30 minutes ago, maybe. So I'm still still participating in all of it. But yeah, to Phil's point, 20 something years at this point into IT. I don't like to talk about it anymore either. I think 20 is that respectable line that once you hit that, you can stop counting and just say it's been more than 20. Or at least that's how I'm going to go with it. So anyways, also a back-to-back Nutanix technology champion. Happy to receive that designation from them to just recognize me for, talking about something I love anyway. So it just works out that way. But hopefully you guys will get a lot out of what's going on today with both me and Phil, and then our guy Paul, who I'm gonna turn it over to so he can introduce himself.
Thank you, Harvey. So again, my name is Paul Nguyen, Senior Channel SE with Nutanix. Been here close to 5 years, so it's been a journey for sure. I cover with my sales counterpart Alex Kluger, who's also on this call. So go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I'm Alex Kluger, Senior Channel Sales Manager. I'm based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I cover all of Nutanix's resellers in the greater region, and one of our best and fastest growing and most technical would be the XenTegra. They've been a very great, loyal Nutanix partner. They lead with us and know the true value of our technologies combined, and what we can do for customers in the field is pretty extraordinary. So you're in for a treat, everyone. Again, thank you, Philip and Harvey, for leading the conversation, and looking forward to seeing everybody at .next.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Paul. We appreciate the support. It's through real partnership that we're able to do programs like this and help the community. And these guys do a lot to support that. So we really appreciate that partnership. So with that, I'm going to roll right into a few slides, a little bit of an introduction, and let you guys get to know us here at XenTegra, a little bit about us. And then we may turn the audio on for you and let you guys introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you're looking to get out of Files towards the end of my spiel. And then we're going to turn things over to Paul. He's going to make us all smarter today and help us get to know Files, and then you get to go hands-on with that as well. So if you've got questions, if you need help, feel free to break in, put it into the chat. We're monitoring the chat. And otherwise, I'm going to start talking for a minute and try not to go to sleep. So you don't want to be asleep for this one because, believe it or not, and it's no lie, we are giving away 2 Broncos this year, depending on where you're located. We've got a promotion going on right now called Work Has No Boundaries. Kind of embodies who we are as a company and what we truly believe, which is that work has no boundaries anymore. We're able to work no matter where you're located, from a plane, from a boat, from a coffee shop, from your living room, from your bedroom. We've all faced that as COVID hit and we entered the global pandemic. And so anyway, this giveaway is just a little bit of excitement you can find out all the details of how to get entered and registered and qualified for it if you go to bronco.xentegra.com. Who are we? Who is XenTegra? In short, we are an end user compute focused company. We grew out of being kind of a Citrix boutique partner at the beginning of our existence. And today, thanks to great customers who continue to ask us to do more and more, we've become an international company with presence in Canada, India. We work with customers primarily around end user compute, but as we all know, to do that successfully, you've got to have great infrastructure. So today we've got an infrastructure practice, a network practice, and we work with about 80 different partners. We go to market with partners where we've had past success, where there's great alignment and where there's true partnership. We're not out just trying to sell product. We really want to enable customer success. Some of the ways that we do that is, by strategic consulting. We work with our customers to try and come up with true solutions to their problems. We come alongside them with professional services and with managed services. And we also do a lot of free type engagement with our customers. We've got complimentary assessments that we offer, and I'll give you a little more information about that. We tick a little different at XenTegra. We wanted to build a community first, and then we wanted to be able to partner with and help that community succeed in business. And that's really the underlying piece of who we are. Inside of XenTegra, we've got over 700 years worth of end user compute experience. As I mentioned, we kind of grew out of a Citrix heritage. Our founder was a Citrix SE. He was a little frustrated with how things were being done in the marketplace. And so he wanted to create a company that worked a little differently. And so there's been a lot of people that have come out of both VMware backgrounds, Citrix backgrounds, enterprise OEMs, and today we've got a lot of incredibly talented, deep expertise working in our company. As I said before, XenTegra was born out of the need for customer enablement and partnership. We believe in this deeply, and for us, partnership doesn't mean selling you something at all costs. It means helping you succeed. It means selling you the right things that help you move the needle within your company. We don't do a lot of extra things. We keep it pretty simple. We try to educate, we try to enable, and we try to follow up and be alongside of you for the long term. Our strategy seems to have paid off pretty well. In 2019, we were recognized as Citrix Partner of the Year. I think there's about 40-ish people in that slide. And I'm happy to say we've doubled in size since that time. So we're growing. Our recipe for success seems to be working, and we continue to expand our horizons. One of the ways that we do go to market is with events. So today's workshop's one of those types of events, but we also do weekly webinars or partner spotlights. We also do live in-person events all throughout the nation. So we are coast to coast in the US. We're also in Canada, and we're launching in India this year as well. So if you go out to events.xentegra.com, you'll see all of the different in-person events and opportunities you've got. We do events like Bourbon and Blazers, baseball games, golf games. We partner with a lot of our different vendors and offer these experiences to you where you can talk to our folks, pick our brains, get to know us a little better so that we can help you succeed. As I mentioned, we do weekly webinars. If you go to webinars.xentegra.com, you can see our agenda for the next few months. We do one every week. It is a close partner of ours, And it's a great way, quick way to get acquainted with their technology and how they can help you succeed. Another resource that we talked a little bit about and Harvey is instrumental in, we've got podcasts across multiple different technologies. So if you're a listener and that's your preferred way of learning, our podcasts are a great way for you to get your learn on. We've got the Nutanix Weekly podcast that Harvey, along with a couple great Nutanix SEs, are a part of on a weekly basis. I occasionally show up along with our founder, Andy Whiteside. Customers across all verticals. I think everybody's got to have the NASCAR screen, right? We work with all shapes and sizes of customers. We've got lots of experience to share, regardless of who you are or what kind of background you and your company may have. Who are we and what programs do we have? From a solution standpoint, we focus very much in the digital workspace area. That extends into cloud services. A lot of digital workspace and enablements happening today in the hyperscale clouds like AWS and Azure. We also do other digital services. From a services standpoint, we've got consultative services, so we can come alongside you, help you design things, help you strategize on a recurring basis. We can do that on a per project basis. We've got professional services that can come out and help you do the implementation. Managed services, if you'd rather wholesale outsource or supplement your team, our managed services team can help with that. We also do advisory services, so health checks and things. Are you in a great security posture? Are you following best practices? We try to help our customers succeed by being proactive in that way too. And of course, we're a reseller. We work and can resell just about any product you could think of, but we really go to market with some true partners like Nutanix, where we've found that their solutions work great in the marketplace. If you've got product renewals, please give us a call. We would love to help you with those. And as an added benefit, like Harvey mentioned, if you do your renewals and things with us, we try to make sure we turn that around and give goodwill back to you. So our 90% off conference pass program is one of those ways that we try to reinvest that back into you. And then we also have cloud workspaces. We've got a growing AWS practice and some other partners where we're continuing to build out our cloud workspace strategy. Of course, we've talked about those partners, and Nutanix is a great one of those. If you're interested in who else we work with, you can also see another logo or a NASCAR slide out on our website at partners.XenTegra.com. XenTegra Connect is our managed service practice. These are all of the different partners that we work with from a managed service standpoint. So we do a lot of Citrix, VMware, Nutanix. Our entire managed service practice is built on Nutanix as a little nugget of information. So we like those guys a lot. They help us help you succeed. We also have a staffing division. And so if you're looking for talent, feel free to check out jobs.XenTegra.com. I almost said jobs.Nutanix. I'm trying to hire for you, Paul. What am I doing here?
Thank you kindly.
And then, as I mentioned, we've got free assessments. We call them micro assessments, but across all of our strategic technology partners, we offer these programs. And if you're looking to try us out with no obligation, this is a great way to get started with us. We'll provide you back with an assessment, help you maybe see anything that's not following best practices, and we'll do that all free of charge. So if you're interested in one of those, feel free to reach out to Harvey, myself, or to your XenTegra client executive, and we'll be glad to get that set up. And that's us. That's XenTegra. I'm going to take a break here, and I'm going to ask our attendees if we can take just a quick minute and get to know you. What are you looking to learn today in terms of Nutanix Files? And I'd love to know what you're thinking. So just going to run down the list. Marcus, looks like you're unmuted. Do you want to go first?
Oh, okay. Yes. Hi. My name is Max Bond. I'm working for Artrix. Artrix is a medical device company, and within Artrix, I'm the infrastructure team responsible for our file and print services.
Okay.
And currently, we are running a lot of ESX servers, and most of the company runs on vSphere and VMs and ESX VMs. But we are more and more moving away from ESX towards Nutanix. To be fair, we have already Nutanix, but Nutanix in vSphere, and we are moving more to Nutanix AHV. And so I'm interested in everything regarding Nutanix because I have to manage the virtual machines. And so, yes, and a colleague pointed me out to your web session, and here I am.
Well, we appreciate you joining also from Europe, it looks like. So thank you for staying up late with us today.
No problem.
Bob, you want to go next?
Sorry, I had to find, sorry, I had to find the, Bob Albu. I had to find the mute button to unmute, but yeah, I work for, we use Nutanix hypervisors, and we recently deployed Nutanix Files, and we're using it for storing Citrix profiles and FS Logix containers and so forth. I don't manage the Nutanix Files piece, but I work with it. So I want to learn whatever I can about it. So for more efficient problem solving and so forth. I work for a large law firm and been doing this a long time. So
that's great. Yeah, I think you're in the right place for sure today. Thanks for joining us, Bob. Brian Anderson. How about Chris Staten?
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. So Chris Staten, I'm Assistant Director of IT for Henderson County Local Government, and we been a longtime partner of XenTegra, so definitely appreciate all of the everything you guys are doing, and totally agree with the statement. Definitely there for good training opportunities, and just to get us going, in the right direction from the beginning. Not to we started out with Zen Desktop, and I think going the Zen app method, from day one, certain apps, Zen app was the appropriate direction. So from day one, getting the right solution set up was very important for us. But look, we're also a Nutanix customer. We've had it in production for over 5 years, and we're definitely interested in Nutanix Files. And in local government here, we support about 30 different departments, and I think just consolidating all of those various file servers running on Windows now, we see big advantages of having that distributed file system on Nutanix. We're also running ESXi now. We're looking to migrate to AHV, And I did see in some of the documentation, if you're running Nutanix files, there are some gotchas if you do like the wizard upgrade. So curious how that plays out as well. Yeah, we're pretty close to possibly migrating, so I'm not sure if it's recommended to deploy Nutanix files prior to that, but obviously that's a separate discussion. But I think the goal today is just to get a maybe pick up some things that on Nutanix files that wasn't aware of before, and just make sure it's the best solution for us going forward.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. We can chat offline about that. There's no gotchas on AHV on-prem, but we can definitely chat offline with that, Chris.
Thank you.
There is a site that's called Nutanix Mission Control that does have videos on how you convert EXI over to AHV and Nutanix Move. I think the videos are pretty good. Let me search for that link for you, Chris, and I'll send it over in chat. But it's a very good link with really good videos. I'll look for it during break. I'll send it over to you, Chris.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today too, Chris. Connor, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. My name is Connor Carroll. I am a infrastructure engineer for Old Dominion University's Information Technology Services. I actually just started in this position earlier this month, and we manage 2 Nutanix clusters. So I'm extremely green when it comes to anything Nutanix. We do use NetApp for our centralized storage, but we are looking to experiment with Nutanix Files, and we are using it in production already. So I need to kind of get up to speed with everything. Particularly, I'm interested in what we can do with Nutanix Files as far as metrics, monitoring, alerting, automation, and multi-tenancy. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot so far, so this is mostly going to be like a exploratory workshop for me, a lot of learning. But yeah, nice to meet everybody, and thank you.
Yeah, you're definitely in the right place. I'll definitely touch on pretty heavily on multi-tenancy there for you, Connor. We are doing a series of boot camps, so definitely also join if you can. If you see an AHV core boot camp, just to know the foundation of Nutanix. I'll be going over it, but I'll kind of go over it kind of quick.
Awesome.
But that's another boot camp to join as well.
And Connor,
but I'll cover everything I can.
I was gonna say I can also take. We did that one last month. We call it the Nutanix 101. I could send you the video, and then you can join the next live one in a couple months.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah. And I think you might know our next customer on the webinar. I can't talk today. Diego, how about you? Do you want to go next?
How's it going, guys? Yep, Connor and I are the same team.
Hey,
To add to the on top of that, we invested in Nutanix a number of years ago. I don't recall, 7, 8, I don't know. We've been growing and making a lot of acrobatics with the nodes, moving VMs from here and there. We migrated stuff from VMware, and it looks like we're gonna go back to that. It's this is a environment that lives and grows. Now we are on the stage where we're exploring all the goodies that Nutanix presents. One of them, the files. As Connor said, we began using it recently. I am decommissioning NetApp stuff and trying to move stuff to the Nutanix side. So this is an opportunity to deepen the knowledge and revisit stuff. And Connor, Nutanix keeps evolving every day. So some things you think you know, they improve them or change them, and then you need to just go again. So it's fun all the time.
That is the industry, right? I mean, it is a living, breathing, changing thing. Makes it fun. Thanks for joining us, Diego. Johnny No.
Hey, my name is Johnny Noe. I work for Pioneer Natural Resources. I'm the Citrix admin there. Citrix environment runs on the Nutanix platform, and we have files implemented as well for the same as somebody else mentioned, the FSLogix profiles and folder redirection. Also looking to use a portion of that for some Numescent virtual apps, like for the pre-cache stuff, but also we're looking to expand some later this year outside of Citrix. So just try to learn some tips on once we expand outside of the Citrix infrastructure to like a regular workloads and how we can take advantage of using files with that as well.
Fantastic. Jorge Delgado, you want to introduce yourself?
If I can unmute myself, yes, I seriously. It's Jorge Delgado. I work with Estes Express Lines, and we've been a customer for XenTegra and Nutanix since before I joined the company, and I just wanted to learn more about files.
Yeah. Well, you're in the right place.
We're in Richmond, Virginia. I'm in Richmond, Virginia, and sorry, you were saying?
No, I was just agreeing. You're in Virginia, outside of Richmond?
Yes, Richmond. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you joining in today, and I think you'll find it useful. Mark Schaefer.
Thank you. I'm sorry, say that again.
I was asking Mark if he wanted to introduce himself. Mark Schaefer.
Oh.
If not, what about Pete Ibarra?
Hold on, I muted myself. Pete Ibarra, I work for Veeam. I wanted to learn a little bit more about Nutanix Files because we're going to start using it a little bit more.
Awesome. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Severo, how are you doing today? All right. If not, Tanya Malouf.
Hi there. I'm Tanya Malouf. I work for UHN, University Health Network in Canada. I don't have much experience with Nutanix. We don't use Nutanix at this point, as far as I know. But I met some people from XenTegra, and I like what during one of the VMware presentations that I went to. I liked what they had to offer. And I've worked with Citrix for a really long time that we support for our University Health Network staff. And I'm just here to broaden my knowledge.
That's great. I love a lifelong learner, and you sound like that's your MO. So we're happy to have you here.
Thanks so much.
All right. I think that's everyone. So Paul, I think you are up. I'm going to stop sharing and let you take over.
Cool. It's still saying, oh, there we go. Give me 1 second, folks. Cool. All right, so thank you, Philip, for the introduction, and everyone for sharing your stories and what you guys want to get out of the boot camp today. Like I mentioned before, right, we do a series of boot camps. We're more than just an HCI company now. We're moving towards a hybrid cloud company for all your data center and modernization needs. So this is the second part of the series. We're going to do files and unified storage. So that's files, objects, and volume. Skip through this slide here. Intro, which is the intro, so thank you. I'll dive into Nutanix Files and Data Lens. If you guys haven't heard what Data Lens is, you'll be in for a treat today as well. And I'll do a demo of Data Lens for you guys, and it'll be labs throughout the day. Again, Philip and I, we're super friendly people. So feel free to please interrupt anytime. It's better than just hearing my own voice over and over again, right? I do want to get to know everyone here. It's a small community of engineers, so definitely want to help educate everyone in the community. So the labs today, we'll be using a unique link to log into our test drive. It has been reserved from, I think, 11 to maybe 3 p.m. today. Let me know if anyone didn't get this link. Philip, if you don't mind putting it in the chat as well. This is the unique link for them to log into.
I gotcha.
The lab. Cool. Once you guys click on the link, put in your work email where the arrow is pointing. It will send you an email for an access code. And then once you get the access code, log in and go through step by step of the lab. It might say it might take 10 to 15 minutes for it to spin up. So I do want you guys to log in now while I do the presentation. But I've seen it spin up for me within 2 to 5 minutes. It's giving you a cluster to log in, your own dedicated cluster to log into our infrastructure. One of my hosted labs out in Nutanix. It'll go through step by step for you. I'll show you a little later what it looks like if need be. But it's kind of like the old Microsoft Clippy that pops in a bubble, and it'll guide you through where to click on, where to go, and information on the console. So yeah, again, let us know if you don't see the link. Go ahead and click on it. Put in your email information. I'll send you a link to log in and an access code. Do check your spam folder. I've heard certain customers say they don't see it, but they do see it in spam. So do check your spam folder, but let us know if there's any hiccups. Cool. So for anyone that's new to Nutanix, I did add 2 slides on HCI and what Nutanix is, 101. Apologies if I do go through it kind of quick, because we do have our own another boot camp that runs for an hour or so, just deep diving on Nutanix core infrastructure. But to understand Nutanix, right, we have to go back to a 3-tiered environment that most of the customers are familiar with. Our main goal when we started our company maybe 10 years ago was to modernize the legacy infrastructure. So what you guys are familiar with, right, is a 3-tier with network, your top of rack network switches, right, your server and virtualization on top, and a point SAN or NAS for your storage. That does come with a lot of complications, right? You might have different vendors for each tier. You might have Cisco for your switches, Dell server, and NetApp storage. Right, that's 3 different vendors that you have to upgrade together. You're going to need specialized skills to manage the 3 different vendors and functions in the company. I kind of call it the 80-20 rule. You're spending 80% of your time managing that infrastructure than actually running your company or your mission goals or reaching your company revenue goals, right? You're spending too much time, too much resources on managing that infrastructure. With Nutanix, we're alleviating that problem by collapsing the 3-tier into a 2U, what we call cloud-in-the-box appliance. It is software defined, so you can scale out by adding more nodes or more servers or appliances. We are a software company, so we don't care too much about what the underlying infrastructure or the underlying hardware is, but we do work with certain vendors like Dell, Lenovo, IBM, Cisco, HPE for those out-of-the-box appliances, plug-and-play models. But as long as it meets our HCL compatibility list, you can put our software on pretty much any bare metal. I alluded to this before, it's not on my slide today, but we're moving away from HCI into a hybrid cloud company. So we actually decouple our software and put it on AWS or Azure as well for a full cloud experience. You can put on-prem Nutanix, and then you can also have Nutanix on AWS as well to migrate data in between the two. You have elastic workloads, put it on AWS or Azure. If you have data like databases that you need near and dear to your heart at home, keep it on-prem, right? We can manage both on-prem and public cloud in a single GUI running Nutanix Prism elements. Oh, and virtualization, we do have out of the box included our own hypervisor, AHV. I think I remember someone bringing that up. But you can still use XSI VMware, no problem. We can also do in-flight or at-rest conversion, and we can convert back as well. So it's out-of-box plug and play. You're getting a cloud-on-box experience with Nutanix to you appliance. Cool. So to understand Nutanix and what web scale architecture means, so 10 years ago, our founder, Dheeraj, actually worked for Google. As you guys know, Google holds petabytes and petabytes and petabytes of data. They're learning very quick how hard that is to scale with a point SAN solution. So they create the Google file system web scale architecture, which is basically a software-defined approach. So they'll use white label servers, add more servers and grow as they need, right? Software define it, grow, expand. If anything breaks or fails, we'll swap it out and swap a brand new node back in. So it's to grow fast, fail fast, and heal fast, right? Approach with web scale architecture. Dheeraj took that Google file system approach, created the DSF, distributed storage fabric, added into Nutanix, a 2U appliance. So it's packaged a lot neater and easier to consume for the mid-market enterprise customers as yourselves to run a cloud-like experience on-prem at your data center. So if I mentioned before, remember I said cloud-in-a-box experience, you're literally getting a cloud-in-a-box experience on-prem at your data center with Nutanix and AOS and DSF software. You can see there in the middle, the CVM. That is our secret sauce. That's what makes Nutanix HCI, or hyperconvergence. If you're familiar with a point SAN solution or a NAS, even if it's all flash or no matter how fast it is, right? They normally come with 2 physical controllers. What if you have 100, 200, 300 servers, right? All log in into those 2 physical controllers. That's causing a bottleneck, right? And no matter how fast, like all flash or how fast your SAN is, it's still going to get bottlenecked by those 2 physical controllers. We alleviate that problem with HCI and Nutanix by making the controllers virtualized, and we have on every single node in our environment. So you can see it opens up more swim lanes, more ingest rate, more I/O into environment, so that alleviates that bottleneck issue. That is where we get our claim to fame with VDI as well. Anyone that used VDI before, I definitely had this problem where everyone logs in all at once. And you get that bootstorm effect when you're logging into the SAN, right? That bottleneck. I'll probably type out something, and then 10 seconds later, I'll start typing. A little scary, right? That alleviates that problem by opening up more swim lanes with the CVM there. Of course, we do a lot more than just VDI now, right? We do critical application, mission criticals, machine learning, big data, Splunk, databases, what have you. Right, but we started our claim of fame because of VDI and how the CVM works. Citrix, which is also a huge practice at XenTegra. So Citrix also announced that we're their #1 platform of choice for their VDI. And we reciprocated as well in saying Citrix is our #1 preferred VDI broker. Quick pause there. Question, concern, comments on web scale and our distributed storage fabric or the CVM and how our Nutanix HCI works. And apologies again if I'm going too fast, because I do want to dive a little deeper into files. But this is for anyone that need a quick introduction to Nutanix 101. Cool. Any questions, concerns? Philip, do you see anything in the chat? I see 19 pop-up bubbles there, so I can't open up the chat.
No questions so far, just a few folks having some problems with test drive, but I'm working through those. If you're having problems with test drive, let me know. Just reach out and chat, and we'll work together to get you in.
Are you guys getting issues with the access code not showing up on email?
Yeah, the access code's not coming into email. Make sure that you check your junk mail or your spam filter. But in some cases, we've got one that just didn't come in. So I came up with an alternate way to get him in.
Okay, let me know. I'll test on my side as well during break and see what the issue is. If that will, we'll get you guys another link for sure.
Fantastic.
So apologies for that. Oh, and also see how all the arrows are pointing to the CVMs together. The CVM is also where we house our Prism element. Think of Prism element as VMware vCenter. It's how we manage our console. So if right, in a VMware environment, if vCenter goes down, it goes down. With us, if a CVM goes down, you can log into the other CVMs to manage the infrastructure, since they all house the Prism element console. So you can see that how it's all connected. We also have something called a CVIP, or a cluster IP. So you can just log into one IP address and it'll do heartbeat pings, and I'll just select the leader CVM for you to log into. So you don't have to memorize all the CVM IP addresses. You can just type in one. This is called the CVIP, the cluster IP. So another cool thing with Nutanix there. Cool, good deal. So you see here Nutanix and US. So we are bundling together files, objects, and volume into a single package. Easier for you guys to purchase and consume. NUS just stands for Nutanix Unified Storage. I'll touch a little bit on object, but today's mainly it's going to be on files. But from my knowledge, right, I don't know any other vendor out there that can do files, objects, and block in a single cluster. Normally, you have to buy a SAN, right, a separate SAN appliance for files, a NAS appliance, a NAS appliance for files, a separate SAN for block, and a separate one for objects. You don't have to. Nutanix, our single cluster could run all three storage modes, and it scales out all the same way within Nutanix.
It's one of the huge benefits of software defined, the way that Nutanix has chosen to architect things. It's really, as Paul said, it's more than just hyper-converged. It's a platform, and you start to see that unravel here with Nutanix Files and Nutanix Unified Storage.
Yep. Well said, Philip. Well said. How is it licensed? So we just announced maybe a couple months ago our new PNP 2.0 pricing and packaging model of how to purchase Nutanix. So it does come with 5 different bundles. Under our NCP, Nutanix Cloud Platform PNP 2.0. So portfolio products will align easier to purchase, right? So the main one you're going to purchase is the cloud infrastructure, or NCI. That'll be the AOS and whatnot HCI. Cloud management, NCM, will be Prism Central. Think of it as a manager of managers. It manages multiple Prism elements. And that's where you can have deeper dive analytics, a lot of cool stuff with that as well. I do go over it on the Nutanix 101 bootcamp, and if anything, Philip will share the video for you guys. So a lot of cool things. You can do NCM, you can do automation in NCM, you can do flow networking, advanced replication, a lot of cool management tools that are built into NCM. But again, right, we also separate out unified storage, database services, and desktop services as separate bundles. And here we go. Here I'll freeze here for a couple seconds so you guys can read and digest. These are different products underneath, right? The bundles there. So you see NUS, files, object volumes, and mine. Mine is our backup target for our backup. It's running Nutanix stores heavy appliance model. If you're familiar with the NX, it's running the NX 8000 model, and it is powered by Veeam and Haiku as the backup. Era, we do have a bootcamp separately for Era and NDB database as a service, and a VDI frame for EUC. We do have a bundle. I forgot to add it to the slide. We do bundle cloud infrastructure and cloud manager together as NCP, so you do get both together in a single SKU. Just make it a little easier to purchase. Cool. So within Unified Storage today, it does come in 2 flavors, Starter and Pro. Starter will get you objects, and then Pro you get files and volume groups. And the license is very, very, very simple. All it is by usable terabytes. So how many usable terabytes you have today in files? Say you have 10, 15 terabytes of files currently, we'll license you just by 5 quantity of terabytes. That makes it very easy to grow and expand as well. Say within a year you grow by 2 or 3 terabytes. We'll just add extra 2 terabytes of license to your license model. So very, very easy ticker or counter, right, to license. Database services, NCI, and Cloud Manager is all on number of physical cores on that appliance you run it on. And VDI is just the number of users. So it should be pretty simple and straightforward to license out these bundles.
And Paul, one thing to add there is for files, at least, you give a little away for free, don't you?
Correct. So we should be giving away 1 terabyte for free to use. And then I think it's 2 for objects. So a very good use case. A lot of people, I think someone alluded to as well, right? User profiles and whatnot to start out with, and then grow and expand.
Yeah, it's a great way to get your firsthand experience on it. So certainly something you can take advantage of if you're a Nutanix customer.
Yeah, and again, it's very simple. We get the wallet template free, and then you have maybe 10 that you want to use. We'll just license the 10 terabytes. Any questions, concern, comments on that?
No questions in chat.
Awesome. All right, so introducing Nutanix Files. Again, if anyone is familiar or has Nutanix, you know how quickly it is to deploy infrastructure. Same thing with files. It deploys within minutes, simple management through Prism Element. 1-click upgrade, insights and recommendations within the product. You saw the license model is pay as you grow, deploy anywhere. You can scale up to petabytes. And then we do NFS and SMB, and it supports over thousands of connections. So you can do both on-prem, remote sites, or across our public cloud. Right now we partner with AWS and Azure, and soon GCP, but we're multi-cloud approach. Cool. So we can do this in 2 different modes. One is mixed cluster that alluded to that you can have multiple storage mode in a single cluster. So you have general purpose VMs, and then you have files laying around. Clump it into that cluster along with objects. If I recommend the customers with 200, 300 terabytes of files, go with dedicated mode. Dedicated mode will have that cluster just for files. But you can do both mixed and dedicated mode.
So Paul, we do have one question, just backing up a little bit. Bob was wondering, what happens if you exceed the amount of your license?
Well, between us, I'm assuming it will be Nagware. What I do know and see, I'm just an engineer. Sorry, I'm not a sales rep. For me, I see a banner that pops up that will say you went over your limit, but it won't. There's nothing in the code that stops you. But you will get a call from our sales rep to true up, right, those licenses.
So the good thing though is that's, in my opinion, the right way to approach this is it's not a hard stop.
Correct. So that's what I was alluding to between us engineers. It won't stop production. It won't stop anything. But you will get the banner that says you're went over the limit.
Thanks for the question, Bob, and thanks.
Awesome question. Yeah, it's always scary to think that production might stop. No, not here with us. Great question. Any question on mix or dedicated mode? Cool. Just know that's out there, right? Again, I recommend to any customer with over 200 kilobytes of files, go with the dedicated mode. But all your options are all still the same. Files analytics are included in both. Same license by the number of kilobytes. And I'll dive in here shortly what file analytics is. Cool. So how files work within Nutanix is we're going to create what we call FSVMs, which are file server VMs. We will start out with 3 FSVMs. Anyone familiar with Nutanix, we do start with 3 nodes just for how we do RF2, replication factor for failover, right? So we'll start out with 3. 3 together will create one file server entity, which is one namespace. One file entity can have up to 16 FSVMs. You can see here we can have up to 32 AOS nodes, providing we have enough physical storage for those file server entity. This one here, you can see it's running a file server entity called FS1, and then 3 FSVMs underneath that file server entity. Again, one file server entity can scale up to 16 FSVMs, so we can grow and expand our cluster. We did introduce a single FSVMs for any robo site deployments. But the caveat, right, you can't scale out those. But if you have any small sites that just need one FSVM, small robos, it is available. There's no, right, the caveat is you can't scale out. So someone did mention about multi-tenancy, so I'm glad someone brought it up. So again, we can create multiple file server entities for multi-tenancy. Within a single organization, you might want to create a file server entity for an engineering department, one for sales or for marketing, blah, blah, blah. And all different entities will be in a single node, but we'll stripe out the FSVMs for each entity there. So you can see how it's spread out. Or for MSPs, you have different clients. You can create out that multi-tenancy by just creating, right, a separate file server entity. And we'll do tenant separations from there. Question, concern, comments on multi-tenancy? Hopefully this slide here paints a pretty good picture of how it's spread out and how multi-tenancy has worked just by creating those file server entities. Question, concern, comments? Cool. So within Nutanix Files, we can do both distributed shares and standard shares. So distributed shares is pretty self-explanatory. You have 3 FSVMs, but you can log in and hold shares on any of those FSVMs. So you can see here, we create a share called profiles. They can go to FSVM1, we do Dodi and 2, Rudy and 3, and we'll strap across. Chris, Jude, Neil, Rob, Mark. I don't know why the name got easier to say as we go. And then we have our aggregate, right, volumes. Cool. Or you can decide to go with standard shares, where it's 1 share per node per FSVM. Remember, one FSVM goes through 1 node. We can separate it out here as well. So 1 node that's running finance, 1 is running HR, 1 is running E&G, who's maybe engineering department. There's 2 ways we can optimize performance. One is your vertical scale or scale up. Let's add more storage or more memory or vCPU into that certain node, and then we can scale up the number of users. Grow, expand vertically those nodes by adding more resources to it. We can rebalance as well, right? If one node gets too heavy with too many users or too many shares, we can go ahead and move it as well and rebalance it out. Or, like I mentioned before, with Nutanix, we are software defined. So it's very easy to scale out Nutanix. Just add a new node. It will expand out that software defined resources. Just connect to top of a rack switch, all of the tech to IPv6, and just add a brand new node. So this here is showing node 1 is getting too heavy. We're going to go ahead and add a 4th node and add a FSVM into that node, and we'll rebalance out the infrastructure for you. And this is all automatically. So those are all in the back end. Set it and forget it here with Nutanix. So you can scale up, adding more resources, or scale out just by adding more Nutanix nodes. The protocol, I'll pause this slide here so you can read and digest. Right, we do both SMB and NFS. You can see we're SMB 3.0 plus, and with NFS we do version 3 and 4, 4.1, 4.2. You see different versions that we support. But what's something that most customers and partners aren't aware of that I think is very cool is we can do multi-protocol access to the same file. You can see here you select the main one, either SMB or NFS, and it just is an easy check mark, enable non-native NFS access, and once shared you can do both SMB and NFS there for you. So I think that's pretty neat, pretty cool, and again it's very simple to set up. Just check mark, pick one as your primary, and just click on the check mark there on the bottom. Files, high availability. So we'll do kind of like DRS or high HA, right? If FSVMs were to fail, we'll go ahead and move for you all the volume groups and shares over to FSVM2. And we'll build right node 1. Again, in another bootcamp, I do go over what replication factor 1 and replication factor 2 is. We always have a copy of your data on another node, and we keep track of all the blocks and the files through metadata in the CVM. So all the FSVMs, all the CVM knows where all the data is located, and then once it moves over, we'll just pick up the extra blocks, or sorry, the extra files that are stored.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the piece of this is it's as simple as a Windows file share, but you get so much more. you get failover and redundancy and scalability and stuff that you can just never get from your traditional Windows file shares.
Cool. We also have Smart DR also bundled into your package when you purchase NUS. You can DR from site to site or even out to the cloud. This is showing 2 clusters replicating together, all managed through Prism Central. If you guys remember, I said Prism Central is kind of the manager of managers. It manages multiple clusters, multiple Prism elements. So you'll set up your backup policy through here, connect the 2 sites together, cluster 1, cluster 2. You can see replication by group by policy by shares separately. So one can back up every hour, the other one a day. However you want to set up your RPOs and RTOs, right? Depending on your SLAs. But you can see there it's replicating over from site 1 to site 2. Site 1 is read and write. When it replicates over to site 2 as standby mode, it will be read only. Site 1 ever goes down, that standby read only will flip over to read and write, and it will be turned into the primary. I'll leave this slide up for you guys to read and digest. It's basically everything I just mentioned, right? It's controlled by Prism Central. It's where you set up your policies and replication policies and targets. It's by the share level replication, as you can see on the other slide, where you can set separate backup policies per share, per backup group. That's where you define your RPOs, your recovery point objectives. You can see we can go down to 10 minutes to a minute. How that works is we create synthetic pools. So the first baseline, you guys know, will take the longest. Once we take that baseline back up, we will do synthetic fulls, meaning we're only capturing backups when there are delta changes, right? And then you roll up into the baseline image. That's how we can go frequency to every minute. If there's no change, we won't take a backup. If there's small changes, we'll grab it and then we'll roll it into the baseline there for you guys. So again, you can go down to 10-minute replication, 2-minute through those synthetic full backup strategy. On the bottom there, again, right, it's one that your files that are active and primary will be on read and write, and the ones that are standby and DR site will have read only. But then when you fail over, it will become active and then read and write. So I have a slide on that here as well. You can see on site 2, we failed over, and then it becomes read and write as primary. Once it's primary, you can, when you fix cluster 1 up again, right, set up your backup policy and replicate back to site 1. Cool. Again, it's basically everything I said here. Just putting notes on the slide for you guys to read and digest. I'll take another quick pause here. Questions, concerns, comments on Smart DR or any backup strategy. We can talk backup for hours, right? I always tell people setting up backups in DR, it's kind of like having car insurance. You're happy to have it when something happens, right? So it's very important to back up everything and have a DR strategy and plan as well. So questions, concerns, comments, or anything along those lines?
So just to underline something you said, Paul, it's active standby. But if you have use cases where you want to be able to do multi-site active, we have a partner that can work with them on that as well.
Yep. So we have many solutions for different scenarios. So we'll cater to your specific scenarios with our engineering team and help you build out the right DR strategy for you guys. So nothing's off the table, right? We'll discuss, we'll plan it out, many different ways to solve the problem. So you'll be in good hands. Again, I forgot to mention, Nutanix, we're not just selling you a single product, right? We're selling you a solution set for all your data center needs.
So we do have a question from Marcus. What's the maximum difference between the cluster nodes, same DC, different countries? I think what you're asking is between the DR sites, if there's a maximum between those. Is that right, Marcus?
As long as you have enough storage for your backups. And our engineering team will size with you appropriately to make sure, right? Because we got to know your RPO and RTO plans are and how many copies and backups you guys have and your retention policy and how long you're keeping those data. We'll collect all those information and we'll build out the right size for you guys. Hopefully that was your question.
And just again, maximum scale on any one cluster is?
We can go up to petabytes. Right?
Number of nodes, scale out nodes.
Yeah, we have different models, different appliance models, different size. We have compute heavy to storage heavy. Right, we'll size that appropriately for you. Yeah, there's no hard cap or hard limit. Cool, good question. Hopefully that answers what you're asking.
He said yes, thank you. Good.
Awesome,
good.
awesome. Yeah, I'm more familiar with the NX model, where we have the 1,000, 3,000, 8,000. 1,000 are for smaller, maybe even robo. 3,000 is for general purpose environments, and then 8,000s are storage heavy. And then we have Dell models and HPE, right, with the ProLiants and the Apollo. I think the Apollo is the one that's storage heavy, if I'm not mistaken, Philip. So there are very many different models we can provide for you.
And it does vary by vendor. You know, NX has like the 4-node models. I think we can get that from HPE. You know, but it does change depending on who your vendor of choice is.
Correct. Yep. Cool. So we also do inline virus scans as well. And those on the right are kind of the partnership we have with Bitdefender, McAfee, Symantec, or Microtrends. It's very easy to set up and maintain. We also leverage CFT. Any backup vendor, we can do it. Sure, with Veeam as well. This is just a couple partners that we have with Haiku, Commvault, Veritas, Veeam, Rubrik, Cohesity, any backup vendor that can do CFT, change file tracking, we can leverage as well. For anyone that's not familiar with what change file tracking is, it just means that it only backs up the deltas or the changes. So it's not going to do a full system scan on every incremental backup. It does faster backup that way. You're not doing a full scan every single time. We're only taking snaps of the difference on those delta changes. So any backup vendor that can have CFT, we'll go ahead and leverage. Those are just on the marketing side with Haiku, Commvault, and Veritas there. But if you're running EXXI, any backup vendor that can back up EXXI, you can go ahead and use. With AHV right now, again, it's Haiku, Veeam, Commvault, Veritas, Rubrik, Cohesity, and I think Unitrends. But many more backup vendors are coming on board with the backup AHV. Question, concern, comments on that? And then with Veeam and Haiku, we have that Mine appliance powered by Haiku and Veeam virtual appliances. It's a single SKU to purchase as well there. And it's your backup target to back up Nutanix platform. And since it's running Nutanix Mine, you're managing that through all a single console through Prism Elements. So you have hyperconvergence front end and hyperconvergence back end, all managed through a single GUI with Nutanix management. Question, concern, comments there? Again, I know I said it before. There's many ways we can talk about backup DR. Yeah, but any question concerns with this group in particular? Cool, cool. So one exciting thing I do want to pitch and talk to you guys about is our files analytics and data lens that's packaged in. I think this is the coolest part of our files product.
I agree with you.
Yep, and a lot of times people have to purchase this separate at a third-party vendor, but ours is bundled in. So data lens gives you a holistic view of your environment, all your file server entities, wherever it's located in the world. Here you have 2 in the US and 1 in Europe. It scans your data file, right? So it gives you data about data. I kind of say the iceberg analogy, right? You see the tip of the iceberg, the tip of what files data you have, but what's underneath that water, right? That 80-90% that you don't see. Are those data redundant? There's multiple copies, right? Philip, I don't know if you're a cat or dog person, but what if you share your dog picture to all 100 of your employees, right? It's 100 dog pictures listing out your file server.
That's right.
We can eliminate that. How long has the data been in there, right? Data aging. So if it's been there more than 10 years, 10 years, let's move it off your expensive spinning disk and archive it to somewhere less expensive. Anomaly detection, we can see if we can flag any interesting usage by your employees, right? If someone deletes 100 files every day, that's a raise for concern. We'll detect that and let you guys know. Right, or a lot of times we can detect if employees leave the company, what they have or what they took out of your environment as well, right? A lot of anomaly detection checks we can run because we tie into the DNS server. We can log into all users and user directories, and we can see who accessed the file, when, where, and why. Why was Philip accessing Harvey's dog pictures 2 days ago? Is he trying to steal that dog? Trying to adopt Harvey's dog, right?
He can keep his chihuahua. That's okay.
Oh wow, I want a chihuahua. Actually, I want a corgi. I love corgis.
Corgi sounds good.
Yep,
but
yep.
Not the point.
Right, we do audit trail and search and filter, right? Who access those pictures and files. Built-in also is ransomware protection, and then we can smart tier. I'll skip a slide. Files Analytics is the engine that runs data lens, and it is what you analyze every specific file entity. And data lens is the holistic view. So this is kind of just redundant info. But going back to storage tiering, right? Again, you can see data aging. So you can write policy like say, hey, this data has been here more than 2 years. Let's write a policy for that. And if it hits 2-year mark, let's tier it out to cold data, to less expensive disk, archive storage, or to AWS S3 or Glacier or somewhere else. We can smart tier it out once it hit your policies guys set up. Okay, so that's kind of my PowerPoint presentation for you guys today. Any questions, concerning comments? If not, we can take a quick 15-minute break. I'll show a demo and then we'll do labs the rest of the day. But before we take break, any questions, concerning comments?
Feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can pop it in the chat and I'll ask it for you. All right, if not, see you back here about 12:40. Everybody can grab a drink, a new cup of coffee, and we'll be right here.
Awesome. I'll see you guys in 15 and I'll have a demo up and running for you guys. Thank you.
All right, all right. It is just about that time for us to kick back off. Hope everyone was able to get a caffeine boost, another cup of coffee or glass of water, something. And we are getting ready to start live demo and then some labs, hands-on.
Cool, cool. And Philip, did I share the right screen? Can you see the demo site here?
Someone- I'm having some issues with my Zoom client right now. I do not
Okay.
have anything shared.
Let me try
But
again.
that could just be a me thing.
Let me stop share.
It appears to just be a me thing.
Okay, I just reshared it. Anyone else? Yeah, let me know if you can't see the screen. Yeah, Philip, I'm also seeing my screen share is loading. I've never seen that before.
All right. Let's see here.
Can anyone else see the screen?
I've lost all ability to control. So if someone else could take themselves off of mute, let us know if you can see or not the demo.
Yes, looks good to me.
Okay,
good.
just double
Thank
check.
you for the confirmation.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. It says my screen share is loading.
All right. Well, Paul, I'll leave it in your capable hands and I'll try not to oh, there we go. Now things are
There we
working.
go.
Woo, okay.
Yeah,
That was
now it's green.
that came back to life as soon as my machine came back to life. So sorry about that. Let's go, Paul.
Let's go. Cool. So hopefully this is the more fun part of the presentation. Definitely the lab will be the most fun. But what I want to show you guys is data lens. You'll set up Nutanix files within the lab. It's very simple to set up, right? You're creating 3 FSVMs and creating it within Nutanix infrastructure. So there's really no need for me to demo that. It's very simple and straightforward. You run through it to the lab. But what I do want to show is data lens here. So again, like I mentioned before, it's a holistic view of your environment throughout the globe. You can see how many file servers you have. Right now you have 13. Total number of shares and capacity throughout your whole entire environment, whole entire company-wide environment. We see here I have one in North America and one in Europe. It looks like I have 14 in Europe and 9 in the US. So this is just a holistic view, but we can dive in specifically into that file server entity. So let's log into one. This one has 10 petabytes of data. Probably be the best one here to show. So you can see here it's one pane glass of view. You can pretty much see everything and analytic-wise of your file filer, right? It does run on a virtual appliance. So you just, well, for me, I'm on demo site, but you just put in the IP address of that virtual appliance and you can log into the console here. So again, you can see data growth trends. Forecast, you can see from the last 7 days, 30 days to a year. You can see how much data was added and how much was removed and your net change. Again, monthly or yearly or by the last 7 days. Data aging, right? You can see you can tier out the data by cold, warm, and hot. You can tell you how much is in each. And if you go to smart tiering, if you remember I showed it on the presentation. So go ahead and click on smart tiering. This is where you set up your tiering policies. So right now I have it set up to back up, to archive out to AWS S3. But again, it doesn't have to be AWS, it can be less expensive storage unit you have laying around or anywhere else you want to tier out those cold data. But what I didn't go over is you can either do it by capacity threshold or the tiering policies. So capacity threshold, I have it set by 50% of primary storage to start scheduling and tear out. As you guys know, the closer it gets to 100, right, your storage will start to slow down and degrade. I think what industry standard maybe is 75, 80%. You don't want to go over that as your threshold. But tiering policy, right now it's set for if the data has been accessed over 5 days, but you can change that to weeks, months, or years. Over 5 years, we'll set it and then we'll go ahead and tier it out, or file size as well. So pretty simple, set up your policies and set up that tiering location where you want it to be targeted. Whoops, I keep doing that. But going back to this file server entity here, again, we drill down to your DNS server, right? You can see all the different users. And the file type, right? Data about data. How much are videos, how much are images, archive, install, whatnot. And we can set up anomalies. So if you go over here, of course, you want to go ahead and do a system file scan the first time you run it. But we already ran it, right? So we'll go ahead and define anomaly rules. So again, this is where it'll flag you if anything crazy happens within your environment. Let's say one user deletes 100 files all at once or every day, right? They'll shoot up a flag and send an email to whoever is in charge. So we can configure as many anomalies as rules as you like, right? If someone creates 100 files, someone deletes 100 files, someone who makes permission changes that shouldn't be making, or how many times have that person been trying to access a file and got denied that they shouldn't be accessing. Someone read something or rename as well. If someone goes and renames 100 files, right, that's an anomaly flag. But going back here, let's go ahead and click on audit trail. So we can also see, right, if you click on a specific file, you can also trail and see who accessed that file, who's been accessing it, how long it's been created, or when was it last accessed. Let me go back here and see what files we have. I'll search up this file here, or maybe I'll type .zip. Let's see what finds up here for me. So again, you can search up a specific file. You can see a good rundown of who was owned by, what file share is located. But if you view audit, you can drill down specifically more information about it. When it was created, read and write, and the operation date, who last accessed it, when, where as well, and the date range. You can also search folders. So a lot of times folders are within folders you can't find. You can help search there as well. And then you can drill down to specific users and see their behaviors within the environment. So yeah, let me go back and let me pick on a certain user. Let me look up Ronald. It's an easy name to remember. So let's look up Ronald and see what he's been up to. Sorry, Ronald. Cool. So again, you can see what domain server he's on. His last operation, so he read a file, and where it was operated on. Again, you can click on View Audit to drill down even further. So you can see how many files he's been creating, how many he's deleted, maybe he moved to directory, permission changes, how many he has read, etc. there, and all his usage. And again, the last thing we have, right, is ransomware protection. It's built into your product. We have about thousands and thousands of ransomware that we have in our database that will keep growing, and we'll run through those checks and make sure we protect you from any ransomware or malware attacks. Anomaly, I kind of already went into, but you can see the top users, folders, and anomaly type that has happened. And any anomalies, and define those anomaly rules, just like the other page here. Cool. But yeah, that's a quick rundown of Data Lens and Files Analytics. Any questions, concern, comments you guys might have that I can hopefully answer? And again, all the information are right here for you. Managed through Pilsum Elements, internet, right? HTML5. You can do this from home as well. You don't have to be at the office to be able to manage your environment. You at home. People have run it in their Tesla as well. So very flexible here with Nutanix. But any question, concern, comments, or else we'll just do labs for the rest of the time. Cool, quite a bunch today. Hopefully I answered everyone's questions, and yeah, I'll be here for the next hour or so. Anyone have issues? Log into the test drive link, or is everyone okay with the labs?
I do have a quick question.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of the metadata there, is that stored within the Nutanix file server VMs that are distributed among the hosts?
Correct. And it also logs into the CVM, and we have the uplog and the Medusa. Yeah, there's a whole system there.
So, I mean, obviously, should we be backing up the Nutanix file server VMs themselves, or just the data, just the file data that's in there?
Just the file data, yeah. And again, we back up per share. And again, you can leverage, right, third-party vendors as well. So I recommend doing both.
Got it. Okay, yep. Thanks.
Good question. Like I said, back on the year is very, very important. It's like having car insurance. Any other questions, concerns, comments, team?
Yeah, the HTML5 interface is really nice. Can we get the same sort of data with an API?
I'll double check how to log into that. I would assume so. But the quickest, easiest way is, the cleanest way, right, is HTML5. But we do have, right, the CLI and NCLI to log in and manage. But okay. I'll get more info for you. I'm not the biggest expert on that. But yeah, it's doable. Cool. Yeah, just run through the labs once it launches, right? Just go through all the steps. I should have chat bubbles that pops up to tell you guys, guide you through where to go. Added bonus on the lab as well. There's also a section on objects that I was able to get to. Yeah, you create buckets, right? And then store data into the buckets of objects. And objects, like, right, expand the same way as files with a Nutanix. So pretty powerful stuff. And Philip, I think the next session we have, if I'm not mistaken, is either security or database as a service.
So it's security. We're going to try something new. We've been doing a session on ERA, which is database as a service. And so for next month, we're going to try a brand new session around security and go across a bunch of different topics. But among those is some of the built-in security features that Nutanix is going to deliver when you run their platform. There's a lot that they do to keep you secure out of the box. And so we're going to dig into those. show you how to prove compliance when you go through an audit or a questionnaire. So it should be a really good session. If you've got security peers, that might be great if you're running Nutanix already in your environment, or if you're just interested in learning how Nutanix does things a little differently when it comes to security. It's going to be a great session, and that'll be the third Friday of March. So that's March 17th. And again, if you run into anything with the labs as you're walking through, please let us know.
Hey, Philip, you there?
Yes, sir. What's up?
We had a question come in the chat about if Nutanix file server supports IPv6.
Yeah.
I know Nutanix supports IPv6, but I might have to double check on file specifically, unless you know the answer.
I would need to go back and check. IPv6 is still not as prevalent as I would have expected for 2023.
Yeah.
So I don't know the answer off the top of my head. We will get back to you, Marcus, and let you know for sure.
We do use IPv6 for auto discovery of new nodes. Marcus.
Thank you.
Yeah, Philip, you can unrecord, so we don't have to waste recording time or recording edits.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and stop that now.